Welcome back to the Freedom Finders consistent daily action morning show. You guys already know we go live every single day, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 10. Shaq T, Mike T, how y'all boys feeling today?
Oh man, I'm super blessed on this beautiful Saturday, man. Glad to be here. Glad to see y'all boys, man, and excited for our special guest. Mike T, how you feeling, brother?
Yep, same here, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. I'm happy. I'm grateful that I made it to Saturday on this 3-day weekend. I'm excited. So, man, I'm just ready to get this Saturday going, get to this fantasy draft party, have a good time. So, how you doing, D. Scott?
What Mike got going on today, bro? Hey, Mike T, you hilarious, bro. But I'm feeling good, bro. Appreciate you asking, man. Had a very productive morning so far today. Woke up with my one thing on my mind, and boy, I got to it today. I got so much work done this morning. I ain't worked that much in a week, so I feel really, really good about my day. And then I'm gonna just spend it. We'll talk about the actions later, but definitely a great morning so far. So Freedom Finder family, if y'all already don't know who we are the Freedom Finders, where we help you find your freedom through what we call the consistent daily action. We're gonna talk gratitude, we'll talk positive affirmations, we're gonna talk daily actions, and then lastly we'll wrap it up with some wise words. And then obviously y'all know it's Saturday, so we have two beautiful women that's gonna come in, share some gems with us, go through our consistent daily action with us, and then learn more about what they're doing in the community and how they're giving back. So it's gonna be really cool. But with that being said, I think that's all I got. We got any other promos before we get going, Shaq?
Nope, we done already pulled them stock and crypto webinars down, man. So if you didn't grab those last month, you missed it. You missed out. We might bring those back from the vault, soon, but you missed out on those. But hey, I know y'all see what D. Scott got in his hand, that Aura Rain Water. Real quick plug, man. This is the best water on the market. Aura Rain Water comes straight from the clouds to your bottle, built on 3 basic pillars: natural resource conservation. We are preserving the water we have on earth because we're taking the water straight from the sky. Number 2, mental and physical health. You got to be careful what you're putting in your body. You got to put the most pure substances in your body, and that's what rainwater is, straight from the sky. And then thirdly, we are elevating your aura and helping your mental health with that gratitude. This water is infused with the patent pending technology with gratitude. So go ahead and drink up, elevate your aura. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. I don't know if I was doing it good on my model. I ain't never bottled water before. So that was my first time. Y'all let me know in the comments. Was I a good model back here, man? I was trying to get Nito in there too. Let him get. I don't know, man. But anyway,
you
good
did
water.
Your thing, bro. I was watching you while I was talking, so that was helping me out. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice and steady.
It was steady.
Yeah.
All right, bet. That's what I'm talking about, man. We getting better every day. That's what we gonna do on here, man. We gonna improve. That's all we gonna do. But good morning, Mr. Sean. Shout out to Mr. Sean. Good morning to you. Tapping in every day with us. She said, hello, Super Saturday. If you on the live with us, go ahead and put good morning. Let us know you in the building. And go ahead and start throwing your gratitude in. What are y'all grateful for today? But without further ado, we don't want to waste any more time. We want to get to our 2 special guests. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute y'all right now, and we want to bring them into the show. We're very, very excited to hear more about what they're doing. And shout out to Shaq T and UD. So we'll definitely give a little flyer love as well. So without further ado, we'd like to welcome Nadaya and Logan to the show. Thank you, ladies, for tapping in with us so much. We really appreciate it. How you ladies doing today?
Good morning.
Really good.
We're good.
Love it.
Ohio's most dangerous duo. That's what it is right there.
Love to hear, and definitely appreciate you ladies tapping in. As we already walked through a little bit, we'll go through this consistent daily action, and in the back half, we're gonna get to know all about you ladies. So just gonna have some fun. So not all as much as y'all want to share. I see their face like, oh, as much as y'all want to share, we're gonna have some fun today, man. Couple more good mornings real quick before we kick it off with you, Shaq T. My guy, my mentor, my coach, Jason Van Gardner in the building. What's good, Jason? Appreciate you tapping in. He said, what's going on, superstars? We got Santos in the building. He said, good morning to you, brother. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Go ahead and put what y'all grateful for down in the comments, and we're going to kick this thing off like we do every single day with you first, Shaq T. What are you grateful for on today?
Yeah, man, like we say every day, first things first. I'm grateful for waking up this morning, because waking up is better than $1 trillion.
Yes, sir. Big T.
Big T.
I'm thankful for my family. Definitely. I see you up there, Nadaya. You got
Uh-huh.
picked up
Go
quick.
ahead, get up in
I'm getting
there. Get up and
involved.
get up in
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. I'm thankful for my family, man. They always have my back, always there to love and support me, man, through thick and thin. And then I'm just thankful for the network I have here, man. This Freedom Founder family we've been able to build and the connections I made with, two of my college friends from UD, man. So just thankful and grateful for connections.
Yes, sir. Let's go straight to you, Mike. What
Yes,
about
sir.
you? What you grateful on today, brother?
Yes, sir, man. First thing first, man. I'm grateful that God woke me up on this morning, tapped me on the shoulder, said, "Let's get to it," because that is better than $1 trillion.
Yes, sir. Big T.
Big
Big
T.
T.
Like this.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my family, love, motivation, and support that they provide for me. I wouldn't be the man I am today without them. And I'm grateful for the financial wellness that I have right now. That I was able to send my mom to Vegas, for her birthday last weekend. So,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I'm
Talk that
grateful for
talk.
to have the opportunity to be able to do that too. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the positive energy that I always bring to the table, no matter the situation is.
Uh-oh. Boost Mobile.
Mike T. Pause. Mike. Every time Mike dropping bars, man, they be trying to run them up.
Right.
Every
They be
Right.
time.
trying to hold my man's back. But yeah, what Mike was gonna say, man, he was gonna shout out to his family. He was gonna shout out to Napaholics. His gym, his boxing gym, obviously is doing real well right now. He's able to send his moms to Vegas. Man, he said business is nice right now. So shout out to Mike T. He's gonna come back. He's gonna tell us about how he was determined. But for now, man, we just gonna D Scott over there working, trying to get him back in the building. You ready? You ready, D Scott? Or you want me to keep filling?
Nah, I'll go ahead and go through my. There you go.
Go ahead.
He's gonna pop right back. There he is. Mike
There
T.
you go. You back.
Can we hold
Now we
on?
can't hear
Let
you,
me
bro.
hold on, bro. 1 second, Mike. I was over here working on some other stuff. Sometimes you know what I'm saying, it be like that. Um, Mike T. Publish back. We go. What's
There
up,
we
Mike?
go.
Go
That was
ahead.
back.
Technical difficulties, gotta love it, man. We're gonna keep on moving forward.
Dang.
What you saying though, Mike? Shaq did finish it very nice for you, but what you saying? Y'all can't.
Can y'all
Y'all,
hear me now?
yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
All right,
My,
Hey, Shaq,
man,
can
we
you hear
glitching
me?
all over the place, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, Mike, can you hear now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, go ahead,
All right.
continue,
All
bro.
right.
Continue.
Now back to where I was at. But yeah, I'm grateful for my family, the love, motivation, and support that they provide. And I'm just grateful for the now, man, the present, everything that's happening right now. Not worrying about the past. I'm just worried about everything in my life and the opportunity that's ahead of me right now. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Yes, sir, Mike T. Love that, brother. And I don't want to skip over what
That's
you
all.
just
Let me get
said,
great.
man. Uh, Mike really can't hear you delayed. Anyway, we just gonna move on then, Mike. I'm gonna go to my gratitude, man, for what I'm grateful for today. Just like Mike and Shaq already said, I'm super grateful, just literally for waking up today, because we know that waking up is better than $1 trillion.
Big T.
Big
Big
T.
T.
Also very, very grateful for my positive mindset the Lord is blessing with. Grateful for my one thing, because I've had 10 things, I've had 20 things. I'm grateful for my one thing that I can go to sleep thinking about, I can wake up thinking about, and it gets me out of bed and excited to move forward. Can't share that with y'all yet, but give me a couple weeks. We're going to be putting it out there everywhere. But also grateful for my beautiful fiance, always making me a better person each and every day, and grateful for the Freedom Finder family. We love and support y'all, so appreciate y'all. All right,
Sir.
Miss Logan, we'll start off with you. What you grateful for today?
Well, good morning, guys. Thank you for having us.
Mm-hmm.
So, what am I grateful for? I think first and foremost, I'm thankful for my health. I know we all know there's some tough times right now, so to be healthy and in good spirits is certainly a blessing. I'm thankful for friendships, the friendships that we currently have, and then making new connections with you, Devin and Mike. And then I'm thankful for my family. I think a lot of you guys talked about how your family is your rock, and mine is unmatched. So thanks again for
Love
letting us
that.
be here, and we're excited to get started.
Yes, ma'am. What
Love
about you,
that.
Nadaya?
I am thankful for stability. Um, I'm thankful for peace of mind. And I'm thankful for, again, like my family and friends. I think that we can all attest to having a strong, family background and what that can do for you.
Yep. And that,
Love
that
that.
peace of mind is, that's a big one right there. If
Love
something cost you your peace, it's too expensive.
It's too expensive.
it. Love that. Love that. Appreciate y'all ladies sharing today. We're just I'm getting some back half things that I done forgot to do, but definitely appreciate y'all sharing. We're not gonna read all the comments today because we do have 2 guests today, but definitely I love put it in the comments. What are y'all grateful for today? I see Jason in there, great for patience and to gain clarity. So love that, Jason. Go ahead and put your gratitude down in the comments. What y'all gonna put down in there? What are y'all grateful for today? But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move to the next segment of the show. This is our positive affirmations. These are I am statements that we use to speak things into existence. So with that being said, we'll start with you first, Shaq T. What are you affirming on today?
Yeah, man. So today I'm affirming that I am an MBA candidate. I am the owner of a very lucrative real estate and stock market portfolio, and I am creating generational wealth.
Yes, sir. Love
Sir.
that, brother. Love that, brother. Coming straight to you, Mike. I see you caught up now, Mike. You good?
Yeah, it
You
look like
got
I'm
that
good
lag
right
out
now.
the
All
It's
way.
like
right, all right.
it's gonna start lagging when I start talking though. Why?
Nah, don't we speak of that, bro? Don't we speak of that, bro? It's gonna
Right,
be
this is the
just
positive
fine.
affirmation section.
Hey, what you affirming today, Mike? What's your affirmations?
Yes, sir. I am the master of my destiny.
Mhm.
I'm the owner of the #1 boxing gym in the state of Indiana. I'm a moderator. We, the Freedom Finders, are disciplined.
We
We
That.
Yes, sir. I am resilient and I am determined. FreedomFinders317.com. Make sure y'all go get your merch.
yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. Love that, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you sharing, Mike T, and going to me with my
Yes,
affirmations
sir.
on the day, man. First and foremost, what I always start off with, number one, I am enough, man. I have all the tools in my tool belt that the Lord's blessing with, so I am enough. I am a motivational teacher. I am a go giver. I'm giving everything because it's a beautiful thing. When you give, you get. When you get, you give. So you keep on giving. And lastly, man, I am grateful, man. I'm just super grateful for my vision, man. So that's what I'm affirming on today.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies,
Love it, brother.
we moving right through. We coming right to you. The whole time I was trying to make sure I got y'all names right. So on this next scene, because I forgot to set up the solo. I forgot about that one. But let's go ahead and go to y'all. I'm over at the lane while I fix my last thing. But let's go to y'all, Logan and Nadaya. What are y'all affirming? Let's start with you first, Logan. What are you affirming? What are your I am statements for today?
All right. Well, I am a public servant. I am a leader. I am successful. I am persistent, and I am self-aware.
Love that.
And I am disciplined. I am a leader. I am a public speaker. And I am great at managing money.
Ooh, I love that.
There we go.
Love
You
All
got to
that.
right
teach us a
now.
little something, something. You got to teach, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We might have to run this thing back without the live. Teach us a little something, something. I know you a consultant, so you got to charge for all that, huh? How much you charging?
Right. I don't
Look,
know if we can afford either one of them, ladies. Our budget ain't that big yet.
we not there
One
yet.
day.
One day.
Coming soon. I do want to read one affirmation real quick, man. What's good, E-Rod? We got a gratitude in there too. But shout out to another Freedom Finder family member. It's early over there, 1017
Mr.
squad.
Send me the link. My God.
Man, 7:17 on his time, 10:17 over here. But he said, I am intentional with all my actions. I am creating positive habits daily. I am exactly where I'm at and who I need to be at this moment. Yes, sir. Love that, E-Rob. Appreciate you sharing. As always, I see you in there, Mr. Sean. Let's go ahead and move to the next segment of the show, though. We just affirmed some things, right? We just spoke things into existence with affirmations, but without action, you're not gonna get any results. So we're moving on to the next segment, our daily action. So we just affirm what we want to be. What are we gonna do today to make sure we're making that happen, moving the needle? And I know some of us just, having a good time today. But we'll start off with you. Speaking of fun today, that boy Shaq T in another city today. But let's start with you, Shaq. What's your day actions yesterday, and what you plan on getting done today?
Yeah, man. So yesterday, the big thing for me was being productive while working, remote. I worked from Philly yesterday, and you know how distractions can be. So I was able to have a good work day. I went 1 for 1 yesterday, and then, man, today is just going to be a enjoy myself day to day, man. I'm out here for Made in America Fest, so it was my first music festival. I'm going live it up, have a good time.
Hey man, be
About to,
safe
you
out
about to have
there,
a
bro.
ball out there.
Be safe.
Absolutely.
Don't do anything me and Mike wouldn't do.
That's always in my mind. Man, would these guys do that? Nah.
Aligned. Aligned.
Love that. Love that. Do a little more than what I do. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk offline about that. But let's go to you, Mike T. What are your actions yesterday and for today?
Yes, sir. Actually, yesterday I went 4 for 4,
Yes, sir.
and got the painter, got the date where they gonna start for my house. So I got the hard part out the way. So paid to half up front. So got that, got the ball rolling for that. So they're gonna get started on Tuesday for the paint for the house. So glad about that. And today
Congrats,
my
brother.
actions, appreciate that. Today I need to get my health and wellness post for the Freedom Finders today. So that's my first actions after I get off of here and figure that out and build that out. So that, and then searching for some carpet and tile. Already got the um that up front paid for it, but I got to get the equipment and all that stuff. So the materials. So I got to search for what type of tile and what type of carpet I want to have for the house. So start looking at that, and then after that, really, I got a fantasy draft party. Looking forward to that. Hopefully, it's our cash league too. So should be something fun. And then after that, really just college football and relax. Enjoy this Saturday and the holiday weekend.
Yes, sir. Love that, brother. And I'll just keep it moving because I know we want to definitely get to both of y'all stories. It's already 10:20. So for me, I ended up going 6 for 7 yesterday. So the only thing I didn't get done, which I probably need your help a little bit, Nadaya, I did not get my financial plan together. So did not do that. Got to make sure I do that today. But today consists of my miracle morning, which I do every day: reading, writing, meditating. Weekends, no working out. But I'm still going to also do my Freedom Finder 100. So if you don't know about the Freedom Finder 100, make sure you're doing 100 movements today to get your blood flow right. Also got to do my financial plan. I'm going to do my one thing like I do every single day. I've already wrote in my book, so my book is coming along, man, just slowly but surely. So as I am a New York Times bestselling author, a little one quick affirmation. And then lastly, I'm going to self-reflect and make sure I did what I was supposed to do today, and just enjoy the time with my fiance, man. We're just going to live it up. So that's what we're going to do. All right. All right. We're going to come over to y'all ladies. Let's switch it up. Let's go to you, Nadaya, first. What was your actions? If you tracked them, did you track them? And if so, what did you do yesterday? And what do you plan on getting done today?
Yeah, I do track my actions in my daily, like law of attraction book or whatever it's called. So I was to be productive yesterday for work. I was productive yesterday. And then just enjoy fellowship with Logan because she was coming up from out of town. So that's all I had to do yesterday. I did both of those. That's great. For today, I really need to read. I try to I set a goal to read every day in September. So I need to read.
I love it. I love it. What book you reading real quick? I would love to know.
It's called A Woman of No Importance. It's about a spy during the World War II era. It's a nonfiction.
Nice. I like it. I like it. I just started a new book today, man. It's called Permission to Dream. I don't know if you ever heard of Chris Gardner, but he's the author of The Pursuit of Happiness, right? So I only read one chapter, but man, it touched my heart already with his story. But man, I ain't even read it all, but I highly recommend it. So
you've done a lot this morning. It's only 10:22.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got up at 7 today.
5.
Got up at 7.
Not 5 this time.
I changed changed the towel on my roof. I went and took my car to go get detailed, and I read 3 books and played tennis. Dang, D. Scott, you done had a 4.
Hey man, the miracle morning will improve your life. The miracle morning, man. Been living it. But real talk, man. I always wonder why he spelled happiness with a Y, and I figured out why is for his wife. Because his wife's name was Holly, and also he says in happiness it's about you. So the Y stands for you, and it stands for Holly. So happiness ain't for everybody else; it's for you. So I just want to share that today with y'all, man. Permission to Dream. Shout out to my brother Doc. And he got a sign for me. Shout out to that boy Doc Fuller, man. get me right. But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. Let's go to you, Logan. What's your actions for yesterday, if you tracked, and what you got going on today?
Yesterday was truly just closing out projects for work before this 3-day weekend. I am going to take some time off next week, so I was kind of trying to do 2 weeks of work in 1 week. So yesterday was good, closed out most of my projects. As for today, today is going to be a self-care day. I say all the time, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So today I'll round out the day with Nadaya, maybe get some brunch in, maybe work out, and certainly clean up. So just some housekeeping items, but really just focusing on me today.
Love that. Love that.
That's one of D.
Appreciate.
Scott's favorite quotes.
But got me. Hey, turning me
Taking
up. I'm
notes
trying
from
to.
an
I'm trying to
interview.
be quiet
Yeah,
right now. Hey, Shaq, I'm gonna try to be quiet. I know we ain't got time today, so I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna
right,
keep
right.
moving. I'm gonna keep moving. But one of my
Heard
favorite. Yep, I love it. I love it. But let's go ahead and go to the last segment of the show before we open it up to more of the interview style to learn more about you, ladies. This is our Freedom Finders wise words. So if you ever have any wise
world
words,
famous.
world's famous
World
wise
famous.
words. So if you have any wise words for the Freedom Finder family, put them down in the comments. We'll love to see them. I see your actions in there. I see your affirmations. Love y'all, Freedom Finder family. We don't got time to read them today, but put them in there because we will read them anyway. But put them down in there. We'll love to see what wise words y'all have for the Freedom Finder family. And with that being said, we'll start off with you first, Shaq T, with your wise words on today.
Yeah, man. So my wise words actually came to me while I was driving on the road earlier this week, and it was temptations and things of the world will often give instant gratification, but will lead to long-term turmoil, whereas opportunities from God will require sacrifice and instant gratification for long-term gain. So a lot of times we ask ourselves, like, how do I know if something is for me or something is from God or if it's a distraction? That's oftentimes that's the test, that's the thermometer. What is provide instant gratification? Maybe you want to think about that twice. But is this something that is going to be worth the sacrifice for instant gratification and bring long term gain? Like more than likely, that's something from God.
Love that, Shaq. Love it,
Sir,
brother.
love that.
Love that, bro. Man, got so much to say. We'll keep it rolling though. Mike T, what are your wise words for today?
Yes, sir. My words for y'all today, man. Think of your future self that you want to become, in the future. Think of the process you're going to have to go through to get to that point. And all I can say is just enjoy that process. You don't want to get to that point and you didn't enjoy it because that's gonna be negative, and then you're gonna be getting to that point. That if you don't want to get to that point, then it's not for you. So enjoy the process, enjoy the journey that you're on right now because God has got you on that path for a reason. So if you want to get to the point, the future, you got to enjoy the process now so you can get to that point so you can enjoy the fruits of your labor when you get there. So those are my words for y'all today, man. Enjoy the process.
Turn up there, Mike T. Hey, they almost tried to hold you
Turn
back. I
up.
know you heard it.
I know. Yep, I know. I just kept going. I wasn't gonna let it stop.
Hey, don't let it stop you, man. Don't let it stop you. Love that, Mike T. And one of my wise words, you guys know what I started with every single day with, man. Start your day off with some gratitude. The attitude of gratitude will put you in a state of receivership to where the doors will begin to open up. So start each day with 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for every single day. And I'm not going to say it. This is the 420th time I said it every single day in a row, I believe. Make sure we are grateful every single day and be intentional about it. And lastly, with my bonus wise word today, I actually got a quote from Chris Gardner from the book, The Permission to Dream. But when I read that, I was like, boy, he's talking to me. He said, dreams aren't just to improve your life, but to make the world a better place. Wise words.
Mm,
Yes,
big
sir.
bar, heavy bar.
Big bar. We're going to leave it there. So we'll leave it on the table there for y'all. But with that being said, coming right to you, ladies, we'll start with you this time, Logan. Do you have any wise words for the Freedom Finder family?
Wise word for the Freedom Finder family. I would say pray about it as much as you think about it, as much as you talk about it. That's something that I've been working on and being intentional, as you just said, Devin, when we think about hard times, things we're going through, or even when things are going great, and talking about all the great things in our life, but to make sure we're giving thanks and we're praying about it and being consistent with our prayer. So,
I like that. And
Amen.
mine is write it down, make it plain. I know so often you hear in social media world that manifestation is like the greatest tool, but the reality is the Bible says life and death is in the tongue. And when you start speaking life into situations and writing things down, God's already in the work of things. So write it down.
Amen. Amen. Hey,
Oh,
Shaq, man,
they
you must
turning
have
D
knew.
Scott
You
up.
must have knew already, huh? I mess with y'all, man. We got to talk
D Scott
offline.
up,
I
bro.
mess with y'all ladies, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if y'all write it all, but y'all both got a book in y'all, multiple books. So I don't know if y'all thought about writing
I
ever.
received that.
I'm just being real. I'm being real, man. Hey, you talking about writing things down, writing these things down? Cause again, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than just us. It's bigger than just our families. It's literally giving back to the, I ain't gonna get started, Shaq. I'm gonna stop.
I'm
Yeah, we
about to
about to
let you
go
go
for
for a
another
little minute.
But I
5
I'm
mess
about
minutes.
with
to let you
y'all.
go.
And look, y'all celebrities too. Y'all got people in the building. Shoot, we got Miss Howard in here talking about yes, ma'am. Logan at the day, turning them up there, turn them up
Yes,
there.
sir.
They got Miss Parks in the building. Is that sis? Is that sister?
That's sis and mom.
Uh,
Oh, that's mama and sis. Hey, shout out, man, shout out to the mama, the family, the
What
sis.
now?
Shout out to all y'all, man. She said they here to support y'all today. Support my girls. Love you both. Look, hey, manifest that. They up in here, man. I see y'all. Hey, go ahead and pull what y'all grateful for though. Y'all, I know y'all got some wise words, mama. Mama, what's your wise words today? Go ahead and drop it on us. Go ahead and drop it on us. It's showing all the love to us. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us. But with that being said, we want to go ahead and transition, and we did make it before the 30 mark, Shaq. So hey, tried our best.
good stuff, my brother.
Doing my best over here. So that's one thing I'm getting better at each and every day, man. Clear and concise. But with that being said, we're gonna go to the next, the last segment, and we want to learn all about you, ladies. So again, as much as y'all want to share, but we definitely actually, I want to have Shaq introduce y'all because obviously Shaq knows a little bit more about y'all. But Shaq, if you don't mind kicking it off, telling the people on the Freedom Finder family how you met these women, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, facts, man. Yeah, I'm just grateful to have met these two special, beautiful Black women. So Nadaya, me and her met at UD through the engineering track. She was a chemical engineer. I was a mechanical engineer. And if you study anything tough or that's rigorous, you know you need people to lean on. And so we were just able to be that support system for each other, and push each other through. And then Logan, we weren't as close in college, but we had a lot of mutual friends. Now, obviously, having those connections over time, you just get closer to those people. And so Logan, she was, they both these ladies were cheerleaders, and I played football, so we intermingled and intermixed through just sports. And then as we got older and graduated, Logan and I got closer through Nadaya, and just seeing the positive impact that she was having. I was like, I love seeing that. So that's how I know both of these ladies, man. I had to have them on the show. I really want to give them their own time, and then I was like, man, how about we bring them both together and just really have one super powerful show? And so we got them here, and I'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves, from there.
You want to go first or me?
Go for it.
So like Shaq said, I'm Nadaya. We met in UD during our engineering program. Shaq said that we both helped each other, but I'm gonna be real with you. Shaq really one of the reasons I graduated. Between Shaq and between my family, I was like really kind of over the engineering program. It's very like rigorous, as he said, and I'm like the only person in my family who has an engineering degree. So it was very difficult for me, coming from my background. I won't go too deep into that today, but to keep it plain, it was always me, my mom, my sister. And so Shaq really was somebody who really encouraged me to keep going when I really thought about giving up. And so um, fast forward to graduation, I now work as an independent consultant for a medical device company. And I'm currently working with a company called Stryker and helping them solve problems to keep it simple. There's a service issue, and I'm working on a global service project to make sure that we have technology that's been used for COVID diagnosis actually globally.
Hey, turn up then. She said, you better go deep and inspire somebody today.
And she's not wrong, because your story really is inspiring.
I mean, it is, but I'll be here all day.
Hey,
We'll uncover that with some of the
and
questions.
Shaq got a hard stop. So we got to be made in America.
So we got to
what you said? What you said in your wise words? Write that mess down. You got a booking. Got a booking. What about you, Logan? Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So again, my name's Logan Cobbs. I am from Dayton, Ohio, born and raised. Clearly just could not get enough of Dayton, seeing that I went to UD for both my undergrad and my graduate degree. Following graduation with my Master's of Public Administration, I moved to Springfield, Ohio, so about an hour away. I started off as the assistant to the city manager. Just last month, I was promoted to deputy city manager. Thank you.
Hey.
So I can get
Hey, all right
into what
now.
exactly that means and what all my job entails. But when we talk about local government, that really is at the forefront of folks' minds when they talk about the services that they receive on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, you have your state government, you have your federal government, but when you talk about which one has the most impact on your life, it's certainly your local government. So I can talk to you a little bit more about city management here in a bit.
Hey, I would love
Nice,
that.
nice.
You got something to say?
Yeah,
I'm about to say I'm ready to dive in
yeah,
because I don't really
yeah.
know much
I was
about that
about to
one.
say, yeah. So my
Yeah.
first question to Nadaya really goes back to it's a conversation that we had, and I really want you to expound on the people what caused you to make the jump from corporate to being an independent
Mm,
consultant, and really what's the lesson and the value you want to share to other people about that
yeah.
transition you made.
So I was working for a company here in Columbus, Ohio, and I had been with the company for many years. I was actually brought on because the company was under a recidivist warning letter, which basically says like the FDA's come into your facility on many different occasions, and you are not addressing the issues that they have identified. So it can go from like warning letter to recidivist warning letter to consent decree. Like it can get that bad, and basically the FDA is like law enforcement when you really think about the impact that they can have on someone's company. And so I was working with them. I was working with like 10 different consultants on a daily basis. And I remember having conversations with them like, how do I become one of y'all? Like, y'all make y'all schedule. Y'all literally like live the life. Like, y'all flying in from California on a weekly basis and the company's paying for it. So, how do I get there? And they're like, be a sponge. And so I was there for a few years. And management was like changing over and over and over, and I was the one thing that was like constant at the company at this point. Like I was, working on all the different teams, facilitating different meetings with different programs, and just really doing my best to learn as much as possible in a short amount of time. And it got to the point where someone else got hired, and it was a white man, and same degree, same experience, same years of experience, everything. And he came in making $20,000 more than me. And I remember being like, wait a second, like I've been here. I've continued to show you my skills that I've, taken the extra courses. I've done all these different things. And I straight up went to my boss and I was like, we need to talk. I need a raise. I'm like, I've interviewed other candidates for this position and you have yet to hire someone. So like at this point, it's clear that we don't have the candidate pool. Therefore, if I'm going to continue to do the work that I'm doing, I need a raise. And he came back to me and he said, well, I looked at your salary and for where you live and your age, you're doing pretty well for yourself. And I thought that was a smack in the face. And so I said, okay, well, you've told me all I need to know about this company. And that was the last conversation I had with him. And I remember his boss was calling my phone, like calling my cell phone, like we need to talk. And they ended up giving me a raise. And then the next week I put in my 2 weeks notice and I went independent, moved to Rhode Island, and then started my independent consulting career.
Man, like
And
love that
and
story. Not that it. My bad.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
No, I was just gonna say it really taught me to like really value yourself and your worth. I think so often, especially with older generations, we've been taught to kind of take what you get and like your time will come. But you really, especially our generation, that we have to really, you know, stand 10 toes down on what we want because nothing is going to be handed to us, and you really have to fight for what you want, honestly, or it's not going. You're not going to get it.
You hit the nail on the head. I ain't got nothing to add to that. That's what I want people to hear is like know your value and how you
Yeah.
actually. And a lot of us say that, but we don't really put that into practice. Like you
Yeah.
really lived that out. So I love that.
And the thing
You know
is,
that.
my mom, like months before that even happened, I remember writing down. Funny enough, I remember writing down the salary I wanted to make by like the year's end, And I kind of like put it away, wrote it down, put it away, forgot about it. And as this was happening, my mom was like, if you want to, you can move back in. So I literally moved everything in my apartment to a storage unit, moved back in with my mom, and the next month I was out in Rhode Island.
Made it happen, leap of faith.
Yeah.
Like,
Leap of faith, literally.
just like that.
Man,
And talking about knowing your value, talk about I got one more, D Scott. Talk about knowing your value. That definitely, is relevant to Logan as well. Because obviously you don't go from being entry level, assistant to assistant, and then deputy city manager. Like, so if something happens to the city manager, you're the woman. You're the person, right, that they're gonna look to. So you have to navigate those. Some you have to navigate those waters somehow. You have to know your value. Can you talk to us about how knowing your value has helped you as well?
Absolutely. So just a little bit of background, just to clarify. So I'm the deputy city manager, and traditionally it's so confusing because these titles don't really mean anything unless you're like in city management. But like assistant to meant that like when we talk about the city manager, I was like his right hand lady basically. When it's like, oh, there's an issue, go talk to Logan about it. A lot of people are like, oh, so you're like an administrative assistant, and it's like, no, I really was truly like planning projects and things like that. However, the term assistant was kind of confusing. So first and foremost, I really wanted that like out of my title. So there's like the assistant city manager, the deputy city manager. We have an assistant city manager, and then the city manager. So oftentimes when you see like our city manager and our assistant city manager like out, then yes, I'd be like acting city manager on behalf of the city management. But that was something that I was very prayerful about when we talk about next steps in my career and in my life. I was very intentional about praying for what I thought I wanted. And this really does crack me up because I was really praying like, Lord, what are my next steps in life? Like, I truly loved my job, but I was like, what's next? I feel like there's more for me. And then probably a month later, just some circumstances had happened and my boss was like, you'll be getting promoted. So, and I again, won't go into all of that.
Look at God. He do it.
I mean, and it's funny because that's really not what I thought I had prayed for. And, they always say, like, be specific about what you want. Clearly, I was not being specific enough. And it's funny because, like, they always say, like, God laughs at, like, what you think you're praying for. And that truly was the case for me. But for me to know what my goals were and to set them out and to make sure that I put myself in a position to be promoted and to have all the necessary information and skills that are needed to be deputy city manager was something that I really focused on for like 6 months to a year when I was in my position. So be intentional.
Hey, love that. And I man, shoot, she said, your mama been here, so I love it, mama. Shout out to mama. She said, God is in the details. Love that. She said, love that so much. But I absolutely love what y'all saying, and when we talking about knowing your worth, right? Because especially as people of color, so I'm a little brighter. I'm a little bit. I'm a mutt. I'm black, white, Hispanic. I'm all that. But it's so crazy. I was talking to my work in corporate America, and I was telling them, I said, I've never felt so black until I entered corporate America.
Okay.
Never, my whole life, never. And then I got in corporate America. I'm like, oh, this is how everybody gets treated. This is how, and it's like we just automatically are lesser, and it's like, why am I lesser? And I'm like, I'm the same color as you, to be honest. Like, why? Like, I'm white too. Like, why can't I be white too? Right? And it really gets to me because I'm like, I'm okay. I'm black. What would you talk about? Like that? We're clearly not aligned. But there's so many more hurdles we got to go through. And we have what's called AIMBK. Shaq knows a little bit about it, but it's called Am I My Brother's Keeper? And it's all the black men in our company that we look out for each other. And I'm on the board with that of what we're doing to make sure we're good. But the problem is we ain't got nothing for our sisters, right? So there's nothing there. And there's no help there. And we understand that black men go through a lot, especially in corporate America. But our sisters even devalued even more. Like literally, we look at the pay scale. I don't know the numbers and statistics right now. But the pay scale, like you said, Nadaya, literally, I don't know if he was a white man coming in, but just because he's white, you're automatically looked as competent. And it's like, what you mean? Because I got some color and I'm not competent. So absolutely love what y'all talking about. But I wanted to ask, do y'all Do y'all have anything like that at your jobs where y'all can have the sisterhood come together? Any like affinity groups, anything like that? Or how do y'all like hold yourselves accountable to like, make sure y'all doing what y'all need to do?
That's good. So for me, I don't because I am independent, but I will
Yeah.
say that I've worked with other companies who do have similar programs. So for example, when I was in Rhode Island, um, they believe it or not, Rhode Island is very progressive and there's a lot of diversity there. I didn't see a lot of black people, but when I did see a lot of like Cape Verdean, like I mean, they're out there, Puerto Rican. So there's other minority groups that were heavily like affluent out there. Um, and the company I worked for worked really hard to make sure that especially their minority groups were represented. So like a few things they would do, they would have like a women's night and it would literally be majority minority women. They would make sure that they brought the minority students in on an annual basis to do STEM projects, things like that. So not, you know, especially like the I Am a Brother's Keeper, but there are some companies that do work really hard to support their minority groups because they understand that, like you said, like minority women in the workplace are really not even just in the workplace. Honestly, we can go on whole different rant about that. But you know, it's funny you say that because Shaq and I talk about that a lot about just being a support to women who are minorities in the workplace specifically because like you said, like black men, yes, like they do have it bad in the workplace, but black women, there are things that we experience that I've experienced that I know for a fact a black man would not have been treated that way. Or so yeah.
Yeah, so I can only speak for the public sector, and obviously when we talk about government, we're always a little bit behind the curve, a little bit slow at times. But when we talk about inclusivity and diversity within our organization, that's something that we are working very hard on. So probably 3-4 months ago, we created a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee. So that represents all of our various departments at the city, and we meet monthly. So we're really just starting to talk about where we want to go and what the goals are for the organization as a whole. But what prompted this is we really started looking at some of our policies and getting feedback from our staff, and they're like, wait, it says that like I can't have hair that goes longer than my neck. So what about my dreads? And so then it really started those conversations that really were unequitable when we talk about minority folks in our organization. So that's something we're talking about. And then also we always say that our organization should be reflective of our community. However, that's not the case. We are often asked, why aren't we getting diversity in our organization? Why aren't we seeing those applications coming through? And that's something that we really had to ask ourselves and be very candid on where are the gaps in our organization and why aren't folks applying. So I guess, no, we don't have anything that's specifically for women, but it is a step in the right direction that we're focusing on our minority groups as a whole at the city of Springfield. So
Love that. I love that so much. So I just wanted to dive in a little deeper because I'm not too familiar when it comes to the government. I'm very far away from politics. I don't do none of that stuff. I don't even watch the news because I don't do none of that. So some people look at me and say, "You just don't know what's going on." I know what I got going on, right? So, and that's what I know. But can you tell us a little bit more about about the government and the city, and like just you can keep it real top line and basic, but like, what's that process look like?
yeah, so it certainly depends on where you are, city and state-wise. However, in Springfield, we have a city manager form of government. So oftentimes somebody calls and says, I want to talk to the mayor about X, or I want to talk to the mayor about this policy. But what a lot of people don't realize is your city manager, at least in Springfield and a lot of really just in Ohio as a whole, most Ohio cities other than Columbus do have like a city manager form of government, which means that like your city manager is essentially let's say like the CEO of the organization or of the company, right? And then their board of directors or the city commission are the ones that are there for oversight. So they make recommendations and make sure that we're being fiscally responsible. But when we talk about day-to-day operations, that falls to your city manager. So we have various departments in the organization. Obviously, when you talk about fire, when you talk about PD, community and economic development, your services. So water and sewer, forestry, all of those entities report to your city manager. So our city manager always likes to say he's like a jack of all trades and a master of none. Because when you talk about all of those different departments, all of those report to him. So, for example, I manage our transportation system. I also manage our marketing and branding, and then slowly I'm starting to integrate more into policing. So what does policing look like now? What does it look like in the future? So all of those things go straight to kind of flow up to your city manager. And then when you talk about the mayor and the commission, those are kind of oversight appointed officials. So that's just a brief little overview.
Okay, now that's what's up.
Big
Talk
time.
that
And
talk.
Big time.
I mean, it's one of those things, you
Big
don't know
talk.
what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So nobody
Yeah.
feels the need to
Yeah.
call unless my water was turned off, or nobody feels the need to call unless like my street needs repaved. You know, you don't think about those things until you have to. So a lot of it is just education.
Love that.
Yep, I love that. And that kind of goes into my question for you. And obviously with those particular projects that you're working on, those particular departments, what impact do you want to have on those particular departments? What type of impact do you want as a Black woman that,
Yeah.
wants to be able to help and be in the position that you are to be able to impact and change some things, around in those different departments?
So I hear all the time a lot of things that others in the organization would not. For example, when I say, "Oh, I'm in the city manager's office," they're like, "You work for the government? Like, you do this?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Oh, we didn't know that they hired like people that look like us." And those are just the things that I hear in the community. So I think a lot of people feel more comfortable opening up to me about maybe some of the disadvantages that they see in our government. So I think my ultimate goal is to be able to see the fruits of my labor out into the community. So we talk about years of disinvestment in certain populations, and we talk about the lack of trust with the community. So that's something that I've really focused on a lot, is trying to build trust and trying to be visible. I think representation is important. So that's something that I've been very passionate about and something I want to continue to see more of. When we talk about hiring, I want to see more people that never thought they could work for the government actually in the organization. So I think day by day, I just am very passionate about like helping us as a people, but also seeing slow changes in the
Love
organization.
that. Love that. And I found a stat earlier, D. Scott, that you referenced about the pay difference between Black men and then white women, and Black women and white women. So on average, Black women in the U.S. are paid 37% less than white men and 20% less than white women. So I mean, literally, one third, of that pay, like that's the gap between white men and Black women in pay. So women would have to work a third of the time more to make on average, what their white male counterparts make. Um, so I wanted to put that stat in there. But my question is for both of you. It's going to be a long-winded question, so bear with me on this one. But Logan, you mentioned basically trying to create equity,
Mm-hmm.
among within the city, among different departments and whatnot. And one of the things that comes to mind for me is the disparity that a lot of cities have um, in the funding that goes to the police departments versus the funding that goes to the education system. And
Yeah.
so,
Mm.
can you talk about how things like that are improving? Like, I know I can't remember the city, but I know in one city there's like the police department is getting, let's say, 36 million, and then the schools are getting 6 million. It's literally a 6x difference. And to me, that just it smells like prison to pipeline. School to prison pipeline, because you're going to divest in the schools, invest in over policing. What do you think logically is going to happen when the money shakes out that way? So my question to you is, what do you see, I guess, from a that standpoint, and how can you help, change that narrative or change what's going on there? And then for you, Nadaya, I know you do a lot of work with Lady STEM and educating outside of the school, and the importance of education and supplement education. So how can you see groups like yours and ours with Freedom Finders helping to close the gap until the cities and the governments can get the finances where it needs to be?
Yeah.
So another information piece. So a lot of people, I got a call yesterday, quick sidebar. I got a call yesterday from a lady that's like, no, this was Thursday. Anyway, I got a call that basically she wanted to speak with the mayor, and our clerk had transferred her over to me. She's like, "The mayor's not in. You can speak to our deputy city manager." And she wants to know why the mayor is killing our children by not mandating masks in schools. So it was like really like an education piece when I talked about the difference between like the city as a whole and the school district. Because she's like, the mayor is over the school district. I said the school district has a superintendent, and he's over funding and policies and such. And she's like, nope, it's the mayor. And I'm like, okay. So it's just one of those things that a lot of people don't understand. But when we talk about funding our schools, that comes from our taxes. So we don't see direct allocations coming from the city to our school districts. However, I can talk about policing and what that means, at least in our community. And that's something that we very much are looking at when we talk. And I said this earlier, trust is something that we really are looking at, and how can we increase trust with the community, with the funds that we have, right? So I think body cameras is a great example and something that we are like very much interested in and excited about as a community, in moving that forward. However, we also have to be cognizant of the gaps in our schools and the support that our schools do need. So I don't want to like kind of put them in to one bucket because they are kind of different funding sources. And again, we don't have, as the city, have direct oversight over our school system. However, I think we're going to be having some really tough conversations in the next 5 to 10 years when it comes to police reform as a nation. And that's something that we as a city have been looking at and how we can make positive steps forward in the meantime.
Gotcha. Appreciate you clearing that up.
As far as education goes, I cannot speak to, like the finances that goes, or like the money that goes into our schools. But what I can say is that, just like you don't know what you don't know, if schools don't know that you're available to be a resource, they're not going to ask. And so for me, I purposely, with Lady STEM, made sure people knew that I am available. I will make time to come to your schools, to come to your events, to speak to your kids. Because again, like I told you earlier, I didn't have, family who was like an engineer who I could be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm thinking of doing this. What do I need to do? Or like, what's the process for this? So if you don't have those resources, you genuinely do not know they're available to you. And so since I've made myself available, I've gone into many different, local schools, local STEM schools. Even at my brunch this past month, I was able to literally give like 7 different schools school supplies for their students, because one thing
Definitely.
we don't think about is like, so you're asking kids to be prepared for school. Our kids can barely afford lunch. Like, let's be real. Like, a lot of kids in the inner city cannot afford lunch. So you're asking them to have not only a book bag, but pencils. Now they need cleaning supplies because you got to clean the school, you got to clean the desk. Now they need dry erase markers for the teachers. Like, they need all these different things that they genuinely cannot afford. And so if you don't give them the tools to even be present in class, you can't expect them to be successful in class. And like another example is like someone reached out to me about working with their DEI group, about getting more kids, interested in STEM fields, because again, you don't know what you don't know. I went to a predominantly white high school, and I can't even tell you if there was ever a minority person who came into that school to teach about engineering, mathematics. And here I was, a sophomore in high school who had already completed all of my math credits and all of my science credits. So like, that's something that I could have benefited from. Thankfully, I had a mom who was like, you've always thought about engineering, like maybe you should go that route. And it really just kind of, fell in God's hands and happened the way it happened, that I got an engineering degree. But it wasn't like I had all these examples around me who could promote me or push me to do, certain career paths. And so I really think that, when people are aware of what you can provide them, they'll create the opportunity. My friend, she used to work for King Lincoln Schools here in Columbus, and she was like, we literally set money aside to fund students to go to different programs, but there's no programs to take them to. So, if you have the program, we'll pay for it. Just let us know what to do. And so I'm really trying to create those opportunities that allow kids and youth, and even parents for that matter, to really understand the impact of STEM fields. And then, even if your kid doesn't want to be in STEM, can they be good at math? Because you need math to do finances. And like, can you balance a checkbook? Like, these are things that we should know. And I'm still learning those things. Like, I have a financial advisor, and I know I begin on his nerves because I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I literally was trying to invest in something one time, opened a whole Roth account, And then I'm like, well, dang, now I have to max it out, and I already got money in there. So there's just things you just don't know. And STEM things are things that we can teach our kids right now in school, and even if they don't become a scientist or a NASA, astronaut, at least they'll have the basic skills to just live.
Yeah. Man, you just hit so many nails on the head right there. I want to touch on two of them. Then I'm gonna toss it to you, D. Scott. But one of them, I like how you talked about making sure that the students are prepared when we send them to school. Because if the
Yeah,
students don't have the supplies, that burden then falls on the teachers, and the
Mm-hmm.
teachers don't get reimbursed a lot of times.
sure
We
don't.
have a good friend, Bree Akins, who one of the best educators in the world, and I mean, she has to come out of pocket for a lot of her students, and it's like we're putting that burden on the students and on the teachers, whereas that's taken away from actually learning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If the teacher's worried about, I got to get Kleenex and this and that and Lysol, I'm not putting together my lesson plan. I'm not being
right.
the best educator I can be. So, to your point of, us like Lady STEM, Freedom Founders, and other orgs, we definitely have to continue to step up and try to fill that gap so that the educators can teach, the students can learn, and all the other stuff is taken
Hmm.
care of. Um, and then the other point you hit on actually just lost me. It'll come back to me later. But D. Scott, go ahead and ask your question if you got it.
No, it's all good. I was gonna ask you because I know it's a 10:59. I know you said you got a hard. We're gonna at least need
Right
10
on,
minutes,
right
Shaq.
on.
I know it's at least 10
Yeah,
minutes, brother. You
if
good,
it
Ted?
wasn't Logan and Nadaya, I'll be signing off. But I'm still staying around for my ladies.
Hey man, no,
Definitely.
I just want to start kind of wrapping it down. We definitely gonna have to have y'all ladies come back because I got too much to share and too much to offer to the world. So we'll definitely have to schedule another time. But is it going back to what I kind of asked you before we went live on the show? Is there anything heavy on your hearts right now? What is there something that you want to kind of put out to the public and let people know kind of what you're thinking about it? Is there anything heavy in your heart and the topic that you want to talk about that you may have a solution for, if possible, or to simply talk about the problem so we can just put it out there and voice it so somebody else can find a solution? So anything heavy on the heart that y'all want to end with?
I'll start, and I'll just say really quickly, we really have to be better as adults with pouring into our kids. Our
Mm-hmm.
kids go through so much in the schools, and we don't even know the half of it. Like I remember talking to somebody at my brunch a couple weeks ago, and they were like, "These kids have anxiety." They're depressed, they're suicidal because they're just going through so many different things that we didn't even think about when we were their age. And so I really wanted to encourage the adults, the people who are around kids, the peers, all of that. Just ask, the youth more questions and like start listening to kids. I remember I did a career day and I remember this little boy was like so angry and I was like, "What's wrong with you?" And he was like, "I got in an argument with my mom's, boyfriend." And he went into this whole story. But I remember thinking like, not one of these camp counselors asked this kid why he was upset today. Not one. And I was a camp counselor. I've done it all. So start
Mm,
talking to our youth and stop thinking that they can't understand certain things or they don't know certain things because they know a lot more than we think they do.
yeah,
And really start pouring into them.
I
love
love
that.
that so much because look, these kids, they got iPhones, just like you got. They got an iPhone. They know way
Yeah.
more than we ever did. But go
Yeah.
ahead, Mike. I see you unmuted, brother. Welcome back, Mike T.
Yeah, yeah, man.
What's up?
So, yeah, I just like to hit on that. Like, that's definitely like true as far as like we need to pour into our kids going on. Because I work in education as well, and coming to school like this past 2 years has been a lot going on. A lot of these
Yeah.
kids have been sitting at home, and a lot of these kids also like haven't been building social skills. And that's something things that they need to work on right now. When they go into school, they have no social skills, and that's where sometimes either behaviors are happening where they're getting angry, or things might be going on at home, and then that's why we need to be in schools to be intentional with unpacking that with those kids, because there's a lot going on outside of school that we don't know about, which is why that we need to be communicate with those parents. And things that could be going on that we might not know, like whether it's lost a family member, a lot of mental issues that needs to be needs to be approached at this point in time at that early age, because if it goes on, it's going to continue to affect the education, and then that's
Hmm.
when they start making those bad choices that's going to affect now their whole lives. So like most definitely, I definitely agree with that.
And I just want to say a quick plug to the Freedom Finders and the Fly Group, man. We just made an official partnership with the Fly Group. So shout out to the Fly Group, man.
Bang,
Big time work. If y'all didn't see this episode last Saturday with Phil Pleasant, man, he's the founder of the Fly Group, and he's doing a lot of great things and just launched off. So we're partnering with him to literally give back and teach these life skills to the kids. Like Mike said, the kids don't understand how to communicate right now. They're going through things. They just need somebody to talk to. They just need somebody to understand of like, hey, it's all right to not be all right. I know everybody heard that quote before. It's all right. So let's talk about it and let's get it out there. So absolutely quick plug, man. Shout out to the Fly Group, man. Doing some big time things in the Freedom Finder University. So if you have some kids, reach out to us, man, because we're talking to parents. We want to talk to as many parents as possible. What is your kids going through so that we can, create some content for them specifically so they can they can improve themselves. So quick plug, shout out to them. What about you, Logan? Anything heavy on the heart? Hey, man, we'll go on that one for like 10 hours because that's what we do with the Freedom Fighters of the day. We're gonna have to move. We'll move on though. But anything heavy on the heart for you right now, Logan?
So I'll build a bridge here. So Nadaya talked a lot about our kids in schools, but where my mind went is what happens when they go home and what other factors are they facing. So when we talk about do their parents have jobs? Are their jobs available? That kind of falls to economic development. Where are they living? What's going on in their neighborhood? When we talk about lighting, when we talk about street paving, what amenities do they have? When we talk about transportation and when we talk about the services provided. So when you call 911, how quickly do fire and EMS make their way out to your neighborhood? So all of these things are other factors that affect not only our kids, but adults as well. And all of that falls back to your government, your local government entity. So I think it's really important now more than ever to recognize who we're all voting into office. I hope we're all registered to vote. I hope we all voted because local elections matter at the end of the day. We see that federally, every few years, but there's local elections as well. And when we talk about all the amenity and day-to-day factors that affect your life, all that comes from the local government. So it's really important to know who you have in office, who your public officials are, and who's working for you on a day-to-day basis.
Please repeat that, Logan.
That's good stuff.
Participation is important, man. Like I get so frustrated when I hear people who say it doesn't matter. My vote doesn't matter. This or that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we don't participate, and we historically have not participated. We have not put people in office to make sure our vote matters. So if we don't participate, of course, it's not going to matter. But once we get people like Logan and others, we build them up, and we actually participate in the system, it will begin to work for us. I truly believe that.
That's a fact, and that's woo. I like how you double clicked in that and diving in deep because that's a you know what I'm saying? Because when I wrap my head around now, I'm like, how can we really make that solve? And you did hit the solution. Just go vote. Make sure you know who you're voting for because there are people out here that want to make a difference. Go ahead.
And I think a lot of that is truly just education. You hear all the time, well, the federal government doesn't do this. And it's like, that's not the federal government's responsibility to be doing that for you. You need to be looking at who your local officials are and you elect them. They're people in your neighborhood. They're business owners. They should be the ones working for you. So just knowing, when elections are and who's on the ballot. So November, I encourage everyone to go take a look at who's running in your district and what they support and who they support.
You have any simple way for the people like me that don't look at any of that? But like I definitely understand it's important. But what's a simple way for us to see who's all on the ballot? Is there any like website like what is
you can go
how
to
to make
Board
it
of
easy?
Elections.
Okay.
So you could Google, for example, you can Google Franklin County Board of Elections, and they tell you who's on the ballot for November or January or whenever the election is. They'll tell you even, we talk about schools, levies, those are important, and those are often things that are funding, just day-to-day operations. So is there a levy? Is that something you're interested in? And that's another thing. People are always like, my taxes are going up because they passed this levy. I'm like, who is they? Did you vote for it or did you vote against it? They're like, I didn't vote at all. And I'm like, then don't complain that your taxes went up because everybody else went out asking the government to raise them to support X. So it's just those types of things. So yeah, go to your local Board of Elections, and you can see what's on the ballot for that election cycle.
Love it, love it. And check this out, how our kids are so much smarter than us. Look, I know the answer. Go to Google. Go to Google. Google it. What do you mean? You asking this? Google it. You don't need to ask a question no more. Google it. But that is one thing that also is a lot of pros of that, but there's also a lot of cons of that. With just overall, not just our youth, but overall education, because a lot of times we just want to put it on ourselves. And, anyway, I'm not going to dive into that. But we are wrapping this thing up, man. It's 11:08. Appreciate the Shaq T for the extra time. Ladies, man, this is definitely, like I said earlier, definitely a very great conversation, and a lot more to be said and a lot more to offer. So definitely appreciate you, ladies. But just a couple last words as we always end the show, man. We'll go ahead and start with you, Shaq T. You got any last words for the Freedom Founder family?
Man, as always, man, Freedom Founder family, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting us. We on show 420, so we feeling high and elevated. We high off life, you know what I'm saying? We high off life, show 420. But I want to shout
Yes,
out,
sir.
man, definitely. I got to shout out Logan and Nadaya, two of my close friends from college. Go Flyers, the BD
Go
days,
Flyers.
man. Definitely came and dropped some big gems for us today. Definitely had high expectations and they exceeded those. So, definitely love y'all women to death. Keep being great. Lady STEM will be one of the largest, most impactful STEM focused organizations. Logan will be, she's gonna be the president or something.
The
like
president.
that,
Dismiss
Come on.
but hey,
Come on,
she
CEO.
in there. She's
Come on, CEO.
yeah, she gonna be running somebody's country, city, state, whatever she want to do. But keep an eye out for these two ladies right here. They definitely got big things coming.
Love that.
Sir,
Mike T,
man.
any
For
last
me,
word?
man. Yes, sir. For me, man, I love to appreciate the Freedom Founder family for the constant support. We wouldn't be at 420 without y'all. So it's not just for us; it's for y'all as well. So thank y'all, man. Y'all enjoy your Saturday. Thank y'all, Logan and Nadaya, and y'all dropped some gems for us today. We definitely gotta get y'all back on the show. So appreciate y'all for giving us y'all insight on what you guys do in your career. So thank y'all for y'all do with the community as well. So hey, y'all gonna be great today, man. Enjoy y'all Saturday and the holiday weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all just see I'm just putting up all these
I
comments,
love
man.
it. I love it.
Usually we read through them, but we just had too many gems today to even post them up. So shout out to all the Freedom Founder family, man, getting them comments, man. We do read them and definitely appreciate y'all. And again, Nadaya, Logan, thank y'all for doing what y'all doing in this world, because again, like I said at the start of the show, this is bigger than just us. This is bigger than us. This is I'm gonna pull out the Doc Fuller. This is a centennial mindset. Like where I'm going at, I'm thinking 200, 300, 500 years later, what's gonna be that, right? And that's where I'm trying to push, everybody that I know and this youth to understand that this is not for you. All this stuff you do right now, this is not for you. You're going to go through the cycle, and we're here to literally get back and teach. So thank y'all for the education, because y'all educated us today as well as the Freedom Founder family. So thank you, ladies, so much. Definitely appreciate y'all tapping in with us.
Thank you for having us, and let us know when we can come back.
Yeah, thank you for giving us the platform. Devin, I cannot get off of here until you tell us a little bit about this bird.
Yeah, talking about my bird right there. I knew it was coming.
I've been trying to leave it alone, but I can't. Tell me about this bird.
Hey, man, so that's my bird, Nito, short for Bonito. So Nito, it's he's a pineapple green cheek conure. We have a love-hate relationship. So I'll just say that. There's a lot of pros and cons, but my fiance loves birds. She grew up with birds. So I got a bird that flies around and it's all in all the back of all my recordings ever, because he won't be quiet. So, he's part of the family. So he just want to talk too. Come here, Nito. You want to say something? Come here. Anyway.
You think he's
I'll give you 1 minute. Nito ain't never got his shine. Let me give him a shine on the show so we can talk about him. I'll give him a shine since we're here talking about him right now. But come here, Nito.
Hi, Nico.
He's on
being shot today.
That's okay.
He usually want to be all up in the screen.
He said, today is not the day.
That's okay. We all have those days.
Today's the hate day.
It's all right, man. So this is Nito, pineapple green cheek conure. Look that way. Look at the camera. So one last cool thing about this bird, up. So he lays down like a dog. Birds usually don't do this, but he lays down like a dog and he likes belly rubs.
Aww.
So really, really weird bird. But again, he's part of the family. So shout out to young Nito, man. Y'all follow my Instagram, Nito Bonito. And he bowls, he does all that. But hey, man, Nito, you took Shaq time, so we're gonna put that on Nito today.
You look, I see Shaq looking.
Shaq like, yo,
don't get ahead of yourself.
Hey, man. But nah, again, ladies, thank y'all so much for tapping in. We'll definitely get y'all back on here. See, now you want to talk. Now you want to say something, huh? But we'll definitely get y'all back on the show because we have a lot more to unpack. And I just want to, I don't want this to get skipped over. Like, real talk, y'all have some books in y'all. So, Nadaya, keep on writing that stuff down. There's a lot of books in y'all that can help a lot of more people having that centennial mindset because you may not even ever see it help anybody, but it will help millions of people. So, keep writing that stuff down. So with that being said, man, Freedom Finder family, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. My bird trying to be all loud now, but y'all know how that goes. So definitely appreciate y'all. Shaq T ready. He said, I'm getting off here, bro. Hold on, Shaq. Give us 1 minute, Shaq.
My bad.
That boy ready. But nah, definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. We'll get y'all back on here and we'll get this thing rolling. So Freedom Finder family, thank y'all for the love and support and for the Freedom Finders for Logan and Nadaya in episode 420, living high off life. Freedom Finders, we are signing off. Y'all gonna be great today.
Yep.